Okay, so day 26. Okay, so day 26 talked about oh wait, I'm still on my phone. Okay, so day 26 talked about hey Jesus, tell us about the Father's house. You know, it's interesting because today I came across this video by Catholic Minute, and it actually talked about the reverse. It talked about um what Saint Teresa, Saint basically, Jesus like allowed Saint Teresa of Avila, doctor of the church, to see the place in hell that the devils had prepared for her, like the place that she had earned by her sins, like basically without Jesus' sacrifice, where she would have ended up. And the description was very vivid. It's not just described it, she experienced it. She said that she doesn't think, no matter how long she lives, she doesn't think she'll ever be able to forget that, to forget it. Because it was like all of a sudden, she described like a thick darkness being like squished like kind of between like walls, like tough hard walls, and then like this burning in her chest, a pain worse than any she's known, and she's known a lot of pain in her life. And the worst thing about it was that it's like the mind knew that it would never end, and there was no trace of light, so just pain and darkness and no light. And I think what struck me the most hearing her description was, I was like, to some degree, we all think this is going to go away, just hold out. When you have the worst migraine, you think it's going to go away, just hold out. At the very least, like you think that, okay, when death happens, that'll be the end. Do you get what I'm saying? You think of, at least you know that you're going to die, so you know death will be the end, you know. But the biggest pain and fear is that there's no death anymore. But like this is death. Like this is the second death. This is never going to end. And she was grateful for that mercy because she was like, it renews her commitment to, even when it gets hard to follow Jesus in her own life, like in her life. We encounter the struggles of following Jesus. We we're tempted to think, oh, the way of the world is easier, but that vision, let's say it was a great mercy because she knew where the way of the world ultimately ends, and she never wants to experience that. And so it became like way realer for her to say, you know what, I'm going to live so that I never have to experience that pain in the next life. But out of this, like, it's like at the same time, it's like I think moreover she really knew that Jesus um had already saved her from that place. So more even I wonder, it's like there's also gratitude and a wanting, there's gratitude and a wanting to do everything she now can to avoid that place, but there's gratitude to knowing that you're already saved from that place, but you just don't want to mess up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's like you know how we're already saved, but now we have to remain in Christ, because if we choose to sin, and if we choose to sin mortally, we are separating, cutting ourselves off from Christ here, and we're rejecting Christ if we choose to sin mortally. Do you get what I'm saying? If we sin very badly, if we choose to repeat sinning, then we're rejecting Christ. And so we're rejecting being saved from that place. And so to remain in Christ and to remain saved, we have to change. There has to be a change in our life and the way we do things. Um, And yeah, so yeah, and so I was just thinking that when I heard that this morning, it just got me thinking that I feel like so much the world kind of focuses on heaven. Like heaven is defined. Heaven is, I feel like we define heaven a lot more and better than I think hell is defined. Or rather, I feel like I've always kind of, how to put this? Hell is a very bad place I don't want to go to. Heaven is where Christ is. Heaven is where, you know, God is the source of all good. So heaven is the new heaven, the new earth. And, it's like all these things that I'm like, yeah, 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 yeah. I got a good place for me. You know what I'm saying? There's a good place up there for me. I ain't gonna lose it. I'm gonna do my best to get it. But I think knowing that there was a place in hell that was prepared for you, that Jesus saved you from, and knowing what that would have been like, knowing that I'm so broken that it's like a reminder to humble me, but it's also like this. It renews my gratitude. It renews my commitment to make sure that I don't end up there. That to end up there, to make sure that other souls that Jesus saved from that place don't end up there. Anyway, it's like I felt the emotions very strongly when I listened um to that video. But as you know, as things happen, as it usually goes, we keep having to renew graces, I guess. Grace remembered is a grace renewed. And I think we keep having to revisit these things in order to keep renewing that feeling that we got when we first listened to it. Because of course it's dulled down a lot now. It's really at the afternoon. Um, but yeah, I just listening to this rosary, that today's rosary episode reminded me of that, and so I think thinking about the two can be extremely beneficial and edifying for the soul. So I will put the link to that video below. Yeah, thanks for listening. Have a great day. Oh, and subscribe if you want more reflections or just my thoughts, like my thought dump after I listen to the Rosini episodes. Okay, bye.